That was awesome.
Oh my gosh, I'm like out of breath.
That was amazing. It was like podcast platform. That is hard to say. Podcast platform. I mean,
Hi, friends, and welcome to another episode of the Reading Queens podcast. We are here to talk about a subject that I feel like has been a very long time coming because why are we not talking about book boyfriends more? That was literally part of like our whole promotional thing at the beginning is book boyfriends. So that is our topic today is some of our favorite boyfriends and who would cast if they were on TV right now. So hello,
yeah.
I am Valia. I am here as your host as usual because this is what we do. I also have two ladies here with me. Please say hello.
Hi, I'm Alison.
Hi there. This is Rose.
Yeah, and we're hanging out and doing this whole book boyfriend thing. I'm excited about. I'm excited to hear what the
Me
girls
too.
picked. We did not talk about who we picked before
We're
we
all
started.
going to be surprised.
I was going to
Yes.
say, I hope we haven't picked the same books accidentally.
Oh,
Who
that's
knows?
true.
We're going to
Nobody
find
knows.
out.
This is the chaos of the episodes. We are fine. This is great. So Allie, tell us what you've been up to. How's life?
So life is good. I've actually just come back from a week-long writing slash creative retreat, which was super fun. There were about 8 of us, and we stayed in this amazing, beautiful English country house. It had a swimming pool, which was really nice. Because in the UK, not all houses have, in fact, most houses don't have swimming pools. So it was really nice to be able to kind of swim most days. And one of my friends who was there has mermaid tails. So I did some mermaid
I love
swimming,
it.
which is really different to normal swimming. I don't know
Oh
if you've
yeah.
ever tried, have you tried swimming with a mermaid
Mhm.
tail? Yeah, yeah. But it was really cool. So that was super fun. I did some bits of writing. So the only downside was my laptop died on the last
Yeah.
day, which was a bit sad. And cue a little bit of a panic, but I think it's all sorted now. So yeah, that's what I've been up to.
I know. That sounds like such a lovely time. I've been hearing about it and I'm very jealous I didn't go. But also glad I didn't go
Oh,
because
that's
I had
right. You
other
could
things.
have gone.
I
I
could
Yeah.
forget.
have gone. I actually was
Yeah.
invited, but because I had such limited time here, I was like, you know what? I have other things that I need to do first. And if I was here just to write, it would be different because then, but I didn't have my edits back yet. I literally got my edits on Sunday. So if I had my edits, I probably would have gone and been like, yeah, nobody talked to me for 8 days. But other than that, yeah, it's been I'm so glad you were able to go and it was
Yeah.
like such a good time even with your hectic computer dying. I'm so
Yeah. And
sorry.
fortunately that was towards the end, but it felt
Yeah.
very restorative. I think because I have a toddler at home and life is a bit crazy, I think
Yeah.
just literally I don't really get any time or headspace to just think and rest and go to bed early and have an undisturbed night's sleep
Yeah.
and all these things you kind of take for granted without kids. So that was really lovely. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited for you. All right, Rose, what are you doing? What's happening over
Okay.
there? She's looking around like
I, of course, have a lot of things going on at my house. And so I have somebody here doing some work in my shower. And then I have my little puppy, Marty Artie, who is just really out of sorts right now because he just wants to play. Anyway, you might hear some dogs barking in the background, and I'm just now realizing why. It's because Daisy's outside and so is Penny. Oh my gosh. So anyway, let me tell you something really crazy that happened to me recently, and that is I saw dead people.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. So I went into a room of cadavers. And I was with my son, and we were touring the chiropractic school in Houston. And our first stop was a room full of cadavers. It's the anatomy lab. And I wasn't expecting it. And when we got to the door and she was talking about, oh, yeah, one of the classes is blah, 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 anatomy, yada, yada. This is our cadaver lab. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, what? She said, yeah, there are cadavers in here. And I was like, okay. And then she said, and we're going to go in and I think they're up. And I'm like, up? I was like, what do you mean up? Like they're hanging? What's happening? She said,
that could mean a whole host of things.
I know my mind is like envisioning these like horror scenes. And I'm like, okay, what exactly do you mean when you say they are up? And she said, well, they are housed in these metal boxes. And when they're up, that means they're out of the box and on the table. And she said there were several of them that were up. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So of course she told me I didn't have to go in, but I'm like, wait a minute. This is some good stuff.
You have to go in.
Yes. This is some good stuff. So I got to go in, and we went in and it was just gruesome. It was gruesome. And anyway, I won't go into all of the details, but I will never forget the sight or the smell. The smell.
Yeah.
And and so anyway, we were in there for quite a while, and we came out, and my clothes were just reeking the entire time. I could not get in my car and home fast enough. And of course, Jake and I were like, whoa. And we put our clothes in the wash, and it's like our shoes, and we had to wash them 2 times. Anyway.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, it was a thing. And now I know what all of that looks like and smells like. And so I got to use it in a story somewhere because it's yuck.
Sure. Yeah.
How has that put him off going to that school?
So we discovered that not every chiropractic school works on cadavers. But the one here does, because it's quote unquote science-based. Some are very philosophy based, and a lot of the stuff they do is just looking online at pictures. But this one here is kind of connected to the medical center. We have a very big medical center here in Houston. So they have all these cadavers that are at their disposal. And so a lot of people donate their body to science in Houston. So they had those resources. And so they have cadavers. And Jake was like, I think I'm going to be okay. I'm like, well, you got to be okay, because it's like a lot of hours in that lab.
Yeah, so, but I think that's kind of cool though. I mean, like you get to actually learn the body. Like that's, if I have a chiropractor, I would like them to know what they're doing instead of just looking at pictures on the internet. So, yeah.
Yeah. So these graduates will know exactly everything about the body, how it looks inside and outside, and how everything's connected. Yeah. So that's great. Anyway.
Speaking of dead bodies, I have a story.
Yeah, just
no, not really speaking of dead bodies, but a little bit. My friend and I went out on Friday, and after dinner and stuff like that, we walked over to the Greyfriars cemetery and just like walked around. But we were eating gelato because you do at like 10 o'clock at night, and walked through a cemetery because of course you do. And it was really funny because there was like a tour. Yeah, it was 10 o'clock at night. And there was a tour that came in right before us. Because they do these tours at night. They're like ghost tours, so they'll take them to like different places and blah, blah, blah. And so me and my friend are like walking on the opposite side. Like there's two walkways through the cemetery. And so we're on one side, and then they stopped at another, and like they're having their tour. So we're all the way at the bottom of the cemetery, and that gate is locked. So we're like, oh crap, like we have to turn around and go back. So we turn around, and this guy comes out of like the darkness. He has no coat on. He has like a piece of paper, and he's just kind of like, oh, hello. I have a question for you. Are they doing a tour over there? And he has like a really, really thick Scottish accent. And so my friend kind of just looks at him like, what? And I was
Did he
like,
have a dagger?
no.
Did
I
he have
was
a
like,
dagger in his hand?
no, he had a piece of paper. Okay. And I look at him and I was like, yeah, it's a tour. It's fine. And he's like, oh, okay. And he turned around and like walked back into the darkness. And my friend is just standing there and she's just like, was that
Was he
weird?
real?
Yeah, like she goes, was that weird? And I'm like, no, it's just a ghost. Let's go. It's fine. And she was just like, oh, are you kidding?
Wait, was
So
it wait, hold on. Was
it
it a
was not a
ghost?
ghost. No, it
Okay.
was just a man.
Okay.
The way
How do
he
you know? Okay.
Oh, I know. Okay. I can tell the difference. No, it was just really funny because we were in a cemetery and this man was so random. And she really, like, after that, she really believed me that she thought it was a ghost. And I was like, yeah, it was. I mean, he just had a little question for us. It's fine. She's like, but he didn't like come with us. Like, he didn't stay. And I was like, well, he made an inquiry. I answered. That's all he needed. He's on his way.
Yeah.
Stuff to
Yeah.
do, places to be, bodies to look at,
Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, I
people to
was
haunt.
people to haunt probably made a like a turnaround and like comes out, as they make the tour go down the walkway.
Oh
He just comes out
yeah.
and he's like, "Ooh."
That is so scary. But they say that there are no ghosts at cemeteries.
Actually, in this one, they say that there is a ghost and it's a little tiny puppy that went and died on its owner's grave.
Oh, that is such a sad story.
It really is. The
Yeah.
little Bobby there's like a statue outside of the cemetery,
Bobby.
and tourists, not people who live here, but tourists come and like rub the nose for luck. And it really annoys people who live here because the statue is getting
Warren.
destroyed because people keep rubbing the nose.
Oh.
They're like, don't rub the Bobby. But yeah, that is the tale, is that there is actually a ghost in the cemetery and stuff.
Wow. But that makes sense because the puppy died there
Yeah.
because the ghost stays where the body died. That's what I've heard
Oh,
from my
okay.
ghost friend.
From your ghost friends.
Yeah. So, because I had a ghost in my house and I had to have this lady come and get rid of the ghost. And I asked her about cemeteries because I was just curious. And she said there are no ghosts at cemeteries because the ghost will stay wherever the body died.
Interesting.
And that's why there's so many ghosts at hospitals.
Yeah, that's
Ooh,
true.
yeah. So
Fantastic.
anyway,
Anyway, now that we've had this weirdly morbid conversation, let's talk about some book boyfriend.
I love how we've gone
segue.
from cemeteries to boyfriends.
Boyfriend.
Yeah.
What? You mean they're not on the same level? Anyway, yeah, so our topic today is casting our favorite book boyfriends. I have two books that I'm very excited to talk about, I'm not gonna lie, and some weird actors to play the parts. Because I had to do some research to find them. Okay. I don't like casting the exact same people. Like Henry Cavill literally cast as every book boyfriend ever, depending on how old he is during the time.
Yes, yes.
Which I understand. Okay. I have eyes. I know, but still, it's
Let's
one
go
of
for some
those things.
different guys.
Yeah. So we might have some options that you do not agree with, which is, perfectly fine with me. Please come tell me. I want to argue with you in the comments. So please do come tell us who you would cast for these people. But Ali is going to start us off. So just talk about the book that you picked, and if you give us like a bit of the book, what it's about, if people don't know, that'd be great. And then just talk about the book boyfriend. So
Okay, so my first pick is the Lunar Chronicles book 2, which is called Scarlet.
okay.
And I don't know if we talked about it in the podcast before, but you're probably familiar with the Lunar Chronicles, which is a series of kind of loose fairy tale retellings. And Scarlet, unsurprisingly, is a retelling of Red Riding Hood. And it's a sort of dystopian fantasy type series. And it's an awesome series, and you should all go read it if you haven't read it already. It's like one of my all-time favorite series. And the sort of love it. So the main character in the story is Scarlett, who is a young woman who lives in France, and she's searching for her grandmother who's been missing for 2 weeks. And this guy turns up to help her in her search, and his name is Wolf. You can see where this is going.
Yes, yes.
And he's this street fighter, and he's this really rough, tough, guy who has a bit of a anger management issues.
Oh my gosh.
In terms of like beating people up in the ring or whatever. But he has a really traumatic backstory. I'm not going to give you too many spoilers. But he has also got this like heart and this real like soft side in him, and he is fiercely, fiercely protective of Scarlet. So he's like a typical alpha male, I guess. Your wolf pack leader, right? So this is kind of all the things that I seem to love in a guy, in a fictional book boyfriend.
In a fictional guy.
I'm just putting this out there. Like, yes. It's a kind of whole fighting against these kind of bad instincts he has, the protective instinct, and like he will do anything, literally anything, to kind of protect and save her. Although he does also give her space to like do her own thing. Traumatic backstory. We know I'm a sucker for that. So that is that's my first book boyfriend pick, and my casting. And I did have to look around a bit for this because like there wasn't anyone who kind of completely came to mind. So this might be a little bit of a random pick. And I hope I'm going to pronounce his name right. So it's Tyler Hoechlin.
And yeah, I know him.
So
I don't know him.
He was in like a couple of like Superman series, so Superman Lois and Supergirl, and he was also in a series called Teen Wolf,
which is one of
my
obviously
makes him like perfect for the part. And the reason I picked him is so in the book, Wolf is described as he's obviously very kind of muscular, well built. He has these piercing green eyes, kind of olive skin. And I feel like he has this real kind of brooding look and sort of personality. So I picture him with like this dark tousled hair and like these piercing green eyes. And I found this photo of Tyler, which he has that brooding look, like 100% perfect. He might need a few contacts just to get like the brightness of and intensity of those green eyes, but he can totally carry it off. Plus, he's already been a wolf, so
yes,
that's a bonus.
That is a bonus.
Yeah. I can totally see that. That's a very good pick, actually. I really, really like. Okay, Teen Wolf is one of my obsessions. I literally made one of my friends watch it with me because I was like, you have to see this. Like, this is, and he does not think that it's the greatest thing ever, but it doesn't matter. I do. But I do very much think that Tyler can be like a book boyfriend in a lot of stuff because yeah, he definitely has like the feel of it. So good choice. I like it.
Excellent.
Okay, so my second pick, so the book I chose, I do have to check. So the book I chose is Mistborn by Brent Anderson. Are we allowed to give spoilers
for Mistborn?
Yeah,
I would say yes. Okay, so I'm gonna say
it's a big spoiler.
Okay, so a spoiler for Mistborn. If you don't want to know what happens in Mistborn,
okay, I have two characters for this. So I'm gonna do the non-spoiler character first.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna do the second character spoiler, and then I'll tell you. So like if you don't want to listen to that bit, you can just like fast forward a minute, okay?
Go ahead.
So I think the classic kind of book boyfriend character in Mistborn is Elon Venture. And because he's it's not really a romance, but he is kind of the love interest. He's basically this aristocrat. He's very bookish, and he's a bit of a wannabe philosopher. So when Vin, or she's in the, so when Vin meets him, she's the main female lead in the book. He's basically tucked away. There's this big party, and he's tucked away in the corner with a book. And he's like, "You're disturbing my reading time. Like, what are you doing?"
I love that scene.
He's very much like not your kind of. He's not a sort of fighter or a typical kind of sort of big muscular guy. He's definitely a bookish character, but he does come through towards the end of the book, and he's one of those characters who he wants to do the right thing, and he will try to fight if he thinks he needs to like he needs to fight, he will try, even though he's terrible at it, and he'll probably get killed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he'll put himself out there, right? He has some guts. And so my pick for that was Eddie Redmayne, because I feel
Okay.
like
Oh,
he just does. I mean, he does like aristocratic guys perfectly, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he could do that, and also he's just got such personality. I love him as an actor. I just
Yeah.
feel like he's really versatile and he's stuff. So that is my first pick. My second pick, and this is where this is gonna be a bit of a spoiler for the book because I can't really tell because I
Yeah.
can't really tell you this without it being a massive spoiler. So turn it off now and come back in 2 minutes. So my second pick is Garcia, who is, I guess, the main lead, and he's a bit older. And he's probably like more about, I guess, my age in kind of reality. So
Yeah,
not
yeah,
that
yeah.
old. And he's described as having hawkish features, light blonde hair, and he's this really charismatic. He's like the leader of the rebellion, the person who inspires the rebellion, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So my casting for this, and I'm not saying he's my perfect book boyfriend, but I think the perfect casting for this is Sean Bean when he was younger,
Oh,
because
Oh,
he
yeah.
looks exactly as Kelsey has described. He has the charisma, the recklessness, and he plays those kind of characters, and he always dies. Right? So the spoiler is that Kelsey
Perfect.
dies.
Yeah.
And Sean Bean, we have this running joke because my husband adores Sean Bean. Like, he
Mm-hmm.
absolutely loves
yeah.
him. And I actually made him for his birthday one year this book of memes, which is like all these memes about how Sean Bean dies in
Yes.
different movies.
That's adorable.
So I was thinking of the casting for that, and I was like, I just can't not cast him in
That
that
was so
role.
funny.
That's true though. I always mention
Yeah,
that to my parents too when we watch anything with Sean Bean in
yeah.
it. I was like, well, this is his one thing that he
Yeah,
And
he's
he's
not
the
going to
like,
last long in this show.
yeah,
Boom, he's
I
gone.
think there is a meme which is basically Sean Bean, a running spoiler.
Yeah. Yeah. But I could definitely see that actually. I feel like that's a really good cast for him too. Like the young him. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
He's a little bit on the other side now, but definitely like go back sort of 20 years or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna
Yeah,
be in
I
another
read
movie
that.
actually.
Oh, is
Sean
he? Is he
Bean?
gonna
Yeah, I don't
die?
know, but maybe. I don't know. It's something to do with the Greek gods. He's like
Sean Bean?
oversee yeah, he like oversees Athena or something like that, and she has to have like a guy that's like destined to be her protector, and so he like trains. I don't know. I just saw a trailer for it. Anyway, Rose, carry on.
Really?
What were you gonna say?
Okay, I'm thinking back to Miss Bourne. I read it a long time ago. I thought Kelsier had really dark features. I guess I got that all
Well,
wrong.
I feel like maybe, yeah, and I did have to look it up because I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
So I listened to it on audiobook. I listened to it quite recently, but because I listened to it on audiobook, I didn't have anything to refer back to. But
Yeah.
I did look, so I looked it up on the like Mistborn wiki
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
page, and that's how he's described. He's described as having like light blonde hair.
See,
Wow.
I think it's probably because his character, like who he is in the book, I feel like is usually like that dark, rugged, like
Yeah.
that's who you
Yes.
picture automatically. So I think when I
Yes.
read it, I was like, I very much enjoyed the fact that he wasn't.
Yeah, it was different than who he like his features were a little bit different than his personality, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
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 Okay.
What do you like expect? But that was great, Allie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Rose, I have a question before you get started. Did
Oh
you pick
gosh.
Scarlet as one of your books?
I
Because you're
picked I picked Cinder.
Oh, okay. I
So
was
that's
like, your
okay. I know.
face.
Oh my gosh, that
I
is.
know.
Did
I
you know what she
know.
picked, Valia?
No, I didn't. But while you were
No.
talking, her face was just like in this like half
Um,
shock, half something else. And I was like, did she just pick Scarlet as well? Like that's so
that
random.
that would have been so funny. That
That
would
would
have
have
been
been
so funny.
hilarious. Yes. So
Anyway,
I
go
did
ahead.
not pick Scarlet. I picked Cinder, which is book one of the Lunar Chronicles. And you did such a great job, Allie, with all of your in-depth discussion of the characters and the personalities. And I always forget a lot of details.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say what I remember from Cinder because I read it. Actually, I did the audio a while back. So It is a futuristic dystopian. It is set in New Beijing, China. And Cinder works as a mechanic, and she's part cyborg. And then she ends up meeting the prince when he comes to her shop, and he has this robotic, is it an arm? A robotic something, or maybe it's a robot.
It's Android, I think. Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
just his like personal Android.
Yeah, that he brings to her for her to fix, because she's like this super amazing mechanic, and Prince Kai is just mysterious, and he's, his father is sick and his father is dying, and he has all these responsibilities, and he's younger. And so anyway, I really, really love Cinder. And I know Kay loves Cinder. I know that's like her number one.
I love Cinder.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah. So I was thinking about Prince Kai, and I was thinking about how unique of a character he is. And I was actually trying to find the perfect book boyfriend actor who could play him. And I started thinking of Cobra Kai, because I love Cobra Kai.
Okay.
And there's a character on Cobra Kai, and his name is Kyler.
Okay.
Do you watch Cobra Kai? Anyway, okay. So in Cobra Kai, there's like the Cobra Kai is the bad dojo, and then the good dojo is Miyagi-Do. So Kyler is the actor who is on the bad dojo. He's like the bad guy, but he's really attractive. So I was like, okay, this guy could totally be Prince Kai. He's got short hair. All he needs is some longer hair. He has this amazing body, and he would be perfect. I thought he was like amazing for Prince Kai.
Yeah,
now,
I just looked him up, and he is a good choice. Yeah.
Right? Isn't he great?
Yeah. Does he have to have long hair? Does Kai have long hair?
I thought Prince Kai had a little bit of longer hair, because Kyler in Cobra Kai has super short hair.
Oh, so on this photo, he doesn't have super short hair.
Okay.
But I'm sure that can easily be arranged, right?
Yeah. I can see it. I definitely can see it. I had to look it up too, because my dad watches this show and he loves it, but I haven't watched it yet.
Good.
Yeah, my husband watches it. He loves it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love that show. I love it. So so that was my pick. And then,
you know what? This is so interesting, because I was thinking of the Lunar Chronicles, and I was like, I should go for Cinder, because like Kai is like, he's like the one throughout the series, right? He is the book boyfriend, and he is like, in real life, I would want Kai, right? I'd want Prince Kai, because he's like sensible, and he thinks of other people, and he puts his people first, and he's all of this. And then I'm like, fictional book boyfriend, I want both.
yes, of course.
But I went with my heart on that, right? Otherwise,
it's a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing. Yeah, so you guys are not talking about the same book. It's really funny though, because as soon as you started talking about Cinder, my mind went to all the K-dramas that I've been watching. I was like, is there one that I would pick from any of them? I'm like, maybe actually. Anyway, carry on. Next book.
Yeah. Okay. So then I had to go to my all-time favorite, Twilight.
Of course.
Because I've seen that movie a gazillion times. And I was thinking, when I saw that we were doing this topic, I was thinking, well, who would be cast? Let's say if the movie was being made today, right? The books came out today. The movie was coming out today. Who would be Edward?
Right.
So I wanted to pick somebody that was well known, because anyway, I'm just going to go into it. I watch Outer Banks.
Okay.
And I love Outer Banks. And so my pick for Edward was John B.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
So I also there's also that guy, oh gosh, now I'm blanking on his name. JJ.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Okay. And then I was thinking, or maybe JJ is Edward and John B is Jacob.
See, I can see that because I feel like
Right?
John B would be a perfect werewolf. Like I
Because
can
he's
see it.
wolfy.
Yeah, he's like
Yes.
big and like there's just something about him.
He's
But then like with
bulky.
JJ, he has like that softness, I guess, around him that's kind of like a Edward thing. You know, the
Pretty boy.
broken artist-esque
Yes.
emo thing. Like I can see it.
Tender.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So I was like John B or JJ. And then I was even like going online and doing all the searching for their pictures. I just wanted to look at them and look at them and look at them. And then I was like, okay, wait a minute. John B could be Jacob. Because I'm like, who's going to be Jacob?
Yeah.
John B. I think he'd be great.
Yeah, I think so.
And then,
He looks
yeah.
good.
So, I mean, just that whole Outer Bank cast, they're all just so amazing.
Oh,
And
they're
I love,
amazing. Yeah.
oh, yes, they're amazing. And then I
100%.
thought Sarah could be Bella.
Yeah, she would be a good Bella. I mean, she's an
They,
amazing actress, so I
I
could see her
love
doing.
her. I
Yeah.
love her. So
Yeah,
that was
they
my,
really casted that show so well. Side note,
I
I love this
know.
show so much.
I
Yes,
don't
I'm
think I've ever
behind.
seen it. I'm just trying to figure out if it's like one of the ones that my husband is obsessed with. Because he
Oh,
is
maybe.
definitely the TV watcher in our house.
Season 3 just launched at like the beginning of
Yes.
March, was
What's it
it?
Yeah.
about? Tell me, like,
It's literally
what's it
about a
about?
group of kids living in Outer Banks, and there's
They're,
like the rich kids, and then there's
yeah.
like
I
the
think it is. And
non-rich
do they
kids.
have like, are they on like a treasure hunt or something?
Yep, yep.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So basically, this series is responsible for like his lack of sleep, for like
Love
the
That
it.
is
past few weeks.
awesome.
He is on a TV ban. He has self-banned himself the TV because of this series. Because
That
he
is
was like,
hilarious.
so
Hilarious.
he watched, I think the first, no, so I think he watched the first season a while back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it series 3 that's just landed?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So he watched one a while back, and then he started watching. I think he picked it up and started watching season 2 like a few weeks ago, and he basically binge watched it. And he's like, I just get to the end of the episode, and then I have to press the next episode, and then I realize it's 1 a.m. in the morning. He's like, it's okay though, because I'm just going to get to the end of the series and stop. So of course he gets to the end of the series. Sorry, that was my alarm. I
It's all right.
apologize. So he gets to the end of the series, and then he's like, but there's a new series. It's just come out. So I have
That
to watch
is
this on.
so
And I was
funny.
like, there's not going to be a season 4, right?
There is actually. Yeah,
I-
they renewed it before season 3 launched. They renewed it for season 4. So there is gonna
okay.
be a fourth
But
season.
there's going to be a break, right? Because
Yes, yes, you do
he's
get a
now like,
break.
okay, I realize that my TV obsession is getting slightly out of control, so I'm going to come to bed and read books instead.
Oh my gosh, that's adorable.
So funny.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, really fast, I'm gonna go through the 2 books that I have because we are kind of running out of time today, you
Yeah.
guys. This has been like this should be like a
I
series,
know.
okay?
It's like we
I
can't
think we
even
need to
stop
come back.
talking.
I feel like you should do this with all of the queens, right?
I think
So
I
we'll have
should.
different
Yeah,
That's a really
honestly.
good idea.
Yeah, maybe we'll do. You guys let us know if you want more of this, and I will have other queens here to give their opinions on their books because I think this is great. So I'm going to talk about This Vicious Grace by Emily Feed, which is one of my favorite reads from last year. I am obsessed with this book and everybody should read it. It's like a fantasy, but it reads like a rom-com and it's amazing. And it has one of my favorite book boyfriends ever, Dante. He is like the bodyguard to this chosen one, and she keeps killing the people that she is getting like married to because of her power. And so it's a whole thing. Okay. I cannot go into it. Everybody just read it, please. Book 2 comes out December 5th, and I think it's just a duology. So yeah, it's so good. Dante is amazing. And Dante was very, very hard for me to pick because, first of all, anytime I talk about book boyfriends, I just want to like cast Dylan O'Brien as everybody because he's one of my
He's so
favorites. But he
amazing.
doesn't quite fit the feel of Dante. And I had a really hard time with it because he is kind of like more rugged and like big and all this stuff. But for some reason, I could not get away from Logan Lerman. Like right now, as an adult, like I can see him with, I don't know what it is. People are probably gonna like not agree with
I
me on
love
this
that
one,
guy.
but I think he could pull it off. I think he 100% could pull it off and be so good about it. And yeah,
What
I adored that book.
What's he been in recently? Logan Lerman.
Oh, he was just on Bullet Train.
Oh,
which was awesome.
I love that. That was such a good movie.
Okay. Book
He was
number
great.
2. Do not divert me, please, because I will also talk about them. Although I guess I can say Aaron Taylor Johnson, who's also in that movie, he can do Dante. I feel like maybe, probably. I can see it. Anyway, side note, book 2 that I have is The Luminaries by Susan Dennard. And I also freaking love this book so much. And everybody should read it because it's amazing. But the main guy in this one, Jay Friday, he is like this blonde, yes, blonde, bad boy. And he's like the main character's ex-best friend because her whole family was like shunned because of her dad's mistakes. And so now she's trying to train to be the like a luminary, which are these like basically hunters who protect from crazy creatures in the forest. And so she is like training to be this person and she enlists his help to do so. And they used to be friends before her family was shunned. And it's this whole thing. And there's like the scene with like, Jay, like that's like, Jay is like the whole thing. And she like boops him on the nose. It's adorable. Anyway. And for him, I have 2 people that I picked that I think would work. One is Mitchell Hoog, I think his name is. And he was in, oh no, I think the other guy was in the Insatiable show, but he was just on something that I saw that I was like, oh, I can see this happening. And then the other one is Michael Provost. And he was, I think, on Insatiable. And both of them have like that kind of innocent look, but like a bad boy innocent look with the blonde hair and stuff. And I think both of them can probably pull it off and it'll be really good. But also, please, everybody, go read these 2 books because they deserve all the love ever. And yeah, that was me. Very, very fast through my book boyfriend.
So I don't know the character in the book, but I really like, I've just been looking at the actors. I really like Mitchell Hoog. I think he is a good one. He looks a bit more like he can definitely pull off the bad boy look. I feel like maybe better than the other guy.
Okay, perfect. Then we'll go with Mitchell for Jay Friday. Yeah.
I think that's great. I love it.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, we're going to wrap it up here because we're out of time and we have other things that we need to be present for in about 10 minutes.
I know.
But
why my alarm went off.
Yeah, exactly.
That was reminding me that I need to be present.
It's like, uh-oh.
I love it. But yeah, if you guys have any options for these book boyfriends, let us know in the comments. Please also give us your thoughts on whether or not you want us to continue this series and just make it a series. Maybe not all of them like in a row, but just every couple of episodes, maybe go back and do one of these because I think this is so fun. This is such a fun discussion for me. So
I agree.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Thanks so much for indulging me in this. But yeah, we'll wrap it up here. If you guys have any options, I already said this. Please do follow us on Instagram at Reading Queens Pod and on Facebook, same handle. Also follow us on your favorite podcast platform. Leave us a star rating and or a review but please do both actually because it helps on your favorite podcast platform. It doesn't have to be a specific one, but any podcast platform you listen on, just leave us a rating, a star, maybe 5 stars, not just 1 star. That'd be great. And yeah, be back next week for more of these chaotic energy podcasts that I love so much. And that will be all. Okay, bye.
Bye.